Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life Community Calendar at ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good Tuesday evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window as we always do. And I'll tell you what, showers redeveloping now around much of North Central Washington. You can see that low-hanging cloud as we take a look down from our Omi Gardens Sky-Fi camera down at the old station area, and some snow showers falling, some light rain as well. And we still have a winter storm warning in place for much of the northern mountains and northeast mountains of Washington, all the way down to our west, where we will see tremendous amounts of snow. In fact, snow totals out of this storm in some of the mountainous locations will be heavy. 30 to 36 inches expected and possible for Stevens Pass. Unbelievable. Snoqualmie Pass already is past that 4 to 6 inches, and Loop Loop Pass to our north could see as much as a foot of new snow, and we are seeing that all around North Central Washington. We'll talk much more about that coming up, as well as your Christmas Eve and Christmas forecast a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. It was vehicle versus railroad tussle in Ephrata this morning, and the tussle won. We'll tell you about it. And heavy wet snow caused at least one of 3 power outages in Chelan County today. But first, we begin tonight. As we mentioned, a major storm is sweeping over the Cascades this week, causing a traffic nightmare over the passes as DOT's snowplows scramble to keep up with the snowfall. Chains were required in both directions, with traction tire advisories issued for both Stevens and Blewett passes. Eastmont I-90 Snoqualmie Pass was closed for about an hour this morning due to several collisions and spinouts. State Trooper Brian Moore shared this photo of a car that spun out on US 2 just east of Leavenworth this morning. Authorities advise motorists to take it slow and plan your trips accordingly. Forecasters at the National Weather Service in Spokane are predicting, as we mentioned, as much as 3 feet of snow on Stevens Pass before the current weather system moves through our area. A high-profile vehicle misjudged the height of a railroad trestle on State Route 28 near Ephrata this morning, causing an accident and forcing the Grant County Sheriff's Office to close the highway for most of the day. Traffic on State Route 28 near Ephrata was rerouted from Neva Lake Road to Dodson Road as Department of Transportation crews cleared away debris, and Burlington Northern Santa Fe officials inspected the railroad trestle for damage. Nobody was hurt in the accident, and the investigation into the official cause continues. Well, the State Patrol confirms 3 people were killed yesterday morning when an Amtrak train derailed over southbound I-5 in DuPont. Train cars laying across southbound I-5 and blocking all traffic. Washington State Patrol reports 100 more people were taken to hospitals. Washington State Patrol also says 13 cars jumped the track. The entire train consisted of 12 cars and 2 engines. 2 semi-trucks and 5 vehicles were also involved in the crash on I-5. According to Amtrak, there were approximately 77 passengers and 7 crew members on board. Pierce County Sheriff's Detective Ed Troyer says there were no fatalities among the vehicles involved in the crash. Investigators say preliminary reports indicate excessive speed may have been the cause of that derailment. Southbound I-5 will remain closed until further notice. Power is still out for about 200 Chelan PUD customers in Mary and Little Chumstick Canyons after heavy wet snow caused a tree to fall into a power line along Chumstick Highway about 7 miles up from Leavenworth earlier today. The repair was estimated to take several hours as PUD crews had to remove the large tree, replace the pole, and rehang wires. Chumstick Highway is down to 1 lane with flagger-controlled traffic. There was word also this afternoon from the Chelan PUD of 2 more outages, one near Peshaston along Steins Hill Road, where customers in a mobile home park and other nearby neighborhoods were without power, and the other was on Beecher Hill, where about a dozen people also were without power. No word yet on the cause of those outages or the estimated time to restore power to those areas. Coming up next, the Trump administration has put a halt to plans to recover grizzly bears in the North Cascades, and Chelan County PUD commissioners Monday received an update on a recent surge in requests for new large load power services from Bitcoin and blockchain operations. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and Local Public House, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Come find your holiday gifts at Antique Mall at Cashmere this holiday season. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone, from coin enthusiasts to avid collectors. For do-it-yourselfers, this is the place to find your next repurposing project. What a great way to make your holiday gifts for someone special, using your keen eye to make something old and new again. Discover your next holiday gift in the Antique Mall at Cashmere. Stop on by today.
Welcome back. And in other news, the Trump administration has put a halt to plans to recover grizzly bears in the North Cascades. National Park Superintendent Karen Taylor Goodrich told the Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee last week that her staff had been ordered to stop work on its environmental impact statement by Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke's office. The order also extends to ongoing talks with Canadian officials who are involved in similar recovery plans in British Columbia. Taylor Goodrich said the agency was in the process of reviewing public comments on a draft environmental impact statement. She said they'd received over 127,000 comments. Chelan County joined Okanagan and Skagit counties in opposition to the plans.
Our concern is that we would prefer that they were naturally repopulated. We feel that it's not fair to the bears to bring them in. They're going to trap them, transport them by truck, and then airlift them into sections throughout the wilderness area, throughout the national park system, throughout the national forest system. There's plenty of data that indicates that they don't stay where they're put. A grizzly bear is a magnificent animal, but it's also a very deadly animal if it decides to be in a bad mood. And throughout the EIS, they indicate that that will improve the tourist activity in our area. We don't really think that it will. They totally dismiss the idea that it will affect our multi-million-dollar efforts to reestablish another endangered species, and that's fish throughout the whole area. We feel it doesn't adequately address the restriction and access that will occur throughout the area, as they indicate that they will be using methods to close roads and restrict access to not bother the bears that are there. They have not been able to show, and there's not been a confirmed sighting for over 21 years of grizzly bear in the area, and there's indications that for hundreds of years that they haven't been any more than an occasional visitor to the area. And we feel that that's adequate, that if the bear wants to come here, that's fine, but we don't really feel that 200 grizzly bear in a pretty isolated area will stay put and won't affect all the rest of us.
The North Cascades ecosystem is comprised of the national park and large swaths of the Mount Baker Snoqualmie and Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forests, totaling 9,800 square miles. It holds an estimated 5 to 10 grizzly bears, while the Canadian portion supports another 6 grizzlies. Chelan County PUD commissioners on Monday received an update on a recent surge in requests for new large load power services from Bitcoin and blockchain operations. NCW Life's Jay Seebeck has more on that story.
During the past 2 years, the market value for Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency, has skyrocketed from $300 to around $20,000. Chelan PUD responded to earlier HDL interests in 2015 by developing a new rate structure for energy loads up to 5 megawatts. Now that the cryptocurrency market is so attractive, Chelan PUD is seeing dramatically increasing interest by Bitcoin miners for much larger loads. John Stoll, the Customer Utilities Managing Director, said the unprecedented increase in requests has been overwhelming.
Where we're at now, it's really, again, with all these applicants and people who are just doing inquiries and conversations, it's really putting a lot of stress on staff who, as we've worked through the budget process, we have a lot of priorities around substations, hooking up new homes, businesses, kind of what we would call our organic growth, which is busier than it has been.
The power needs are significant. The PUD has received 4 inquiries of 100 megawatts or more, each of which will take detailed study if a formal application is submitted. Additionally, there are multiple inquiries in the 10 to 50 megawatt range, with ongoing interest for small hobby-type connections. At the same time, staff are seeing unpermitted HDLs in residential neighborhoods requiring immediate attention. Jay Seebeck, NCW Life News.
Thank you, Jay. According to a press release from the Washington State Department of Ecology earlier today, 3 landowners near Moses Lake have been fined for illegally using more than 500 million gallons of water from the declining Odessa aquifer. In June, the Washington Department of Ecology issued cease and desist orders requiring the landowners and their lessee to stop pumping groundwater. Ignoring those orders, they continued pumping water illegally for 3.5 more months to water 530 acres of crops. Ecology issued the following fines. Landowner Michael Schmidt and lessee Ron Fode were fined $103,000 for illegally irrigating 65 acres of alfalfa. Landowner Ron Fode was fined $206,000 for illegally irrigating 130 acres of Timothy hay, and landowners Randy and Michelle Keats, as well as lessee Ron Fode, were fined $309,000 for illegally irrigating 335 acres of alfalfa and potatoes. The estimated value of crops grown on illegally irrigated lands is more than $1 million. Penalties may be appealed to the Pollution Control Hearings Board within 30 days. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Hey, this is Justin at Club Crow Bar and Grill reminding you it's your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Jam sessions and live bands playing a wide range of music. If pool tables or pull tabs are more your thing, we have you covered. Enjoy the fun and food at Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Stop on by today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And
And a good Tuesday. Well, let's take a look at the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from Monday. The Wenatchee girls bowling team, hosted Moses Lake at Eastmont Lanes, eked out a 117-pin victory. High rollers for the Panthers: Jessica Holbrook with a 201, Taylor Bitterman a 199, Hannah Johnson with a 182 and a 176, and Kyla Hankins with a 169. Wenatchee off until the new year when they'll host or face Eisenhower on January 4th. Basketball on Monday, Waterville-Mansfield boys beat Republic 56-9 on the girls' side. Shockers beat Republic 48-28. Coming up on the prep schedule for today in basketball, Okanagan is at Cascade for a girl-boy doubleheader. That begins here in just a little bit. There's a double dual wrestling match with Quincy, Lake Roosevelt, and Cascade today at Tonasket. That one's underway. Also in wrestling, Chelan, Cashmere, Omak are all at Okanagan tonight at 6. And right here on the NCW Life Channel, Eastmont Wrestlers at Wenatchee. We'll have that live for you coming up at 7 o'clock, and I'm really looking forward to this one. My dad is going to join me on the play-by-play tonight. Well, today starts 4 days of basketball action at the Town Toyota Center with the college game taking center stage. Central Washington University takes on Northwest Nazarene, and a big alumni pregame event beginning at 5:15 at the Top Shelf Lounge at the Town Toyota Center. Game will tip off at 7. Braden Dragoo recently joined us on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley to preview the event.
I've been proposing this to Central for 4 to 5 years now to try to get them to bring a game and have it in Wenatchee. And I've been working with the athletic director over there, the foundation board, the president of the college, and every year it's hard to schedule a game at the Town Toyota Center because we have to wait on the Wild schedule.
Mm-hmm. And that doesn't come out till July.
Right.
Right.
So it's been really, really hard for us because in the GNAC, at the conference that Central's in, we have to have all the games lined up. I mean, our games are lined up for next year already. So it's just been really difficult. So a lot of the games we've been getting is, you know, a team out of Canada, Quest, right, or Longera, or Walla Walla College, you know, a small Division III school. And I didn't want that. I wanted a good league conference game that would be a really, really good draw, and so that it would just be a good basketball game.
Should be a good game, too. Central Washington, Northwest Nazarene tonight, 7 o'clock at the Town Toyota Center. High school teams will take over the TTC beginning tomorrow night for the North Central Washington Basketball Showcase, powered by Gisa Credit Union. The Cashmere girls take on Chelan tomorrow at 6, followed by the boys at 7:30. Then on Thursday, it's the first of 6 games tipping off at 11 o'clock in the morning when the Ike boys face Bethel. That's followed by a 1 o'clock matchup between Moses Lake and Linwood boys. We'll have the Wenatchee U-High girls live at 3 o'clock, followed by the boys at 5 right here on the NCW Life Channel. Then we'll tape Eastmont and Rogers and girls play. That's at 7, boys play at 9 o'clock. The action at the Town Toyota Center with the basketball showcase wraps up on Friday with 6 more games highlighted by Wenatchee and Eastmont. The girls at 7, boys at 9 o'clock. That'll be live here on the NCW Life Channel. Well, the Washington State Cougars gave their head football coach Mike Leach a big Christmas present yesterday afternoon. Leach has a big topic of nationally as the turnover of coaches continues throughout the NCAA and had been receiving offers nationwide. Washington State managed to secure Leach through 2022 for $20 million with an additional $750,000 upon completion of the 2020 season. Also, Leach negotiated an additional $400,000 in an increased cap room for his coaching staff for next season. Mike Leach has led the Cougars to bowl games in 4 of the last 5 seasons as head coach, starting the position in 2012. That's sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Life Channel. Turning to our feature of the day, well, we wrapped up the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive yesterday with a final distribution for local charities, making sure less fortunate kids have something to unwrap this Christmas. I was able to get the lowdown on the whole event. The whole thing started actually with a conversation 3 years ago between Brent Rhodes of KKRV and Les Schwab area manager Kirk Mosier.
Brent Rhodes and I started talking about doing a community toy drive. They had some participation with the Bruce House in the past, and we wanted to find ways to expand it.
And afterwards he said, you know what, this is all nice, but I'm talking about grand scale. And I had suspected at one point that Kirk was a little off center. And so when we started talking about this larger scale thing, I came away from that conversation convinced that he was off his rocker.
We brought in Sangsters. We brought in Katie from Works Gym. We've brought in NCW Life, who's probably been one of the greatest partners in this deal as far as getting us out in front of the community through TV, through social media, and our kid shoppers and all that. Just a couple of the projects that we've had. But the first thing we had to do is find organizations to be recipients, and so we found some really good organizations that we felt very comfortable with that share really good value.
Many of the families that we are honored to serve are facing a different kind of decision. They're facing a decision to provide Christmas for their children, or to put food on the table, or to pay rent, or to pay the electric bill. And to be able to come together as a community and extend that level of dignity and honor to these families, and give them the opportunity to celebrate with their family in their homes Christmas, is truly an amazing blessing.
We always struggle this time of year being able to fill that and fill all the wishes, and this has come about and it's been such a blessing.
Well, believe it or not, we're to the final stage here of the distribution for the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive for 2017. We've got Mike McCarty here with the Les Schwab, and we have Lisa Abel with the Bruce House and Women's Resource Center. Lisa, this has been quite an interesting month. Tell us about how this is going to work for your organization and what all of these toys mean to the kids.
Wow, I wasn't expecting all that. Well, this has really meant a lot to us, and very humbling for me, because this is my first go around with this, and I'm even getting the chills talking about it. So,
well, and it's been a chills for all of us that have been involved with this, and Mike, I know that this has been a special event for you too.
Yeah, special for Les Schwab Tire Centers, and also for our supporters with the NCW Life, KKRV, Wenatchee Wild, Sangster Motors. We've had a great network of people to really help out the children in this community, and we're so proud to be part of that. We are so proud.
We've had tens of thousands of dollars of cash donations. We've had thousands of toys to be able to go out to hundreds of kids to help make sure that they have something to unwrap for this Christmas. And before you know it, we'll be working on the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive for 2018. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, and thank you to everybody who donated to make this all happen.
Stay right there. We'll be back with a recap of today's top stories and your forecast on the NCW Life channel.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services, including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan Mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. See us at the Plaza in Chelan for all your holiday needs.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air, and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Time now for a recap of some of our top stories. A high-profile vehicle misjudged the height of a railroad trestle on State Route 28 near Ephrata this morning, causing an accident and forcing the Grant County Sheriff's Office to close the highway for most of the day. Traffic on State Route 28 near Ephrata was rerouted from Neva Lake Road to Dodson Road as Department of Transportation crews cleared away debris, and Burlington Northern Santa Fe officials inspected that railroad trestle for damage. Nobody was hurt in the accident, and the investigation into the official cause continues. Power is still out for about 200 Chelan PUD customers in Mary and Little Chumstick Canyons after heavy wet snow caused a tree to fall into a power line along Chumstick Highway that was about 7 miles up from Leavenworth earlier today. The repair was estimated to take several hours as PUD crews had to remove the large tree, replace the pole, and rehang wires. Chumstick Highway is down to one lane with flagger-controlled traffic. There was word also from the Chelan PUD this afternoon of 2 more power outages, one near Peshastin along Steins Hill Road, where customers in a mobile home park and other nearby neighborhoods were without power, and the other on Beecher Hill, where about a dozen people there were also without power. No word yet on the cause of those outages or the estimated time to restore power to those areas. Time now for your weather forecast for north central Washington. Before we do that, let's take a peek once again outside our weather window where clouds, once again a very low cloud deck around the Wenatchee area. Still some light misty rain and even some scattered snow showers following. Much heavier snow though, as we mentioned earlier, in the mountain passes where Stevens could see up to 36 inches of snow by tomorrow. Our weather pretty much is now under the influence of a large, powerful area of low pressure that is bringing heavy precipitation to the Pacific Northwest. That will last into tonight. You can see that blue on our satellite map. That's the moisture moving through Washington state. This deep storm system will sit and spin moisture our way with about a 50% chance of precip here in the Wenatchee area for tonight, and that will drop down to only about a 20% chance in the morning tomorrow. Valley locations near the Canadian border and along the east slopes of the Cascades, as we mentioned, will receive heavy wet snow accumulations, and we mentioned also the heavy snow in the passes, so if you are traveling, be careful over Loop Loop, Blewett, Snoqualmie, and Stevens passes. A winter storm warning is still in effect for most of those locations until 4 a.m. tomorrow. A cold front moves down from Canada on Friday, bringing with it much colder and much drier air that will spread into the region with just a slight chance for snow now Thursday night into Friday morning. We will see sunny skies, it looks like, for Christmas weekend, with high temperatures between 20 and 25 degrees and lows around 10 to 15. Let's take a look at that forecast now. And tonight we'll drop down with the chance for some rain mixed with snow to about 28 degrees. 34 your high with a peek at the sun on Wednesday and on Thursday. Maybe some snow Thursday night into Friday morning. And that's where the cool down begins as well. 28 for Friday, 23 and sunny on Saturday. But notice the low temperature, 12 overnight on Saturday. Christmas Eve Sunday, 21 your high with mostly cloudy skies. And then for Christmas Day on Monday, it looks as though now we have a 20% chance for maybe scattered snow on Christmas Day, with your high then at 25 degrees. Well, it's what everybody asks every year. Who has the most festive holiday lighting display in the Wenatchee Valley? Our NCW Life cameras captured some of the more elaborate displays around the Wenatchee area. NCW Life is offering a $50 prize to the homeowner whose display we judge as the best in the valley. Tell your friends to share their favorite house lighting display in a private message to our NCW Life Facebook page, and we will announce the winner on January 2nd. And if you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. Also, make sure you tune into the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Weekly. For the newest tech, coolest tech, and the craziest tech stories available on the interwebs, tune in for your weekly tech update right here on the NCW Life channel.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with a voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life channel.